Oh, there he is.
Here we go.
Monsieur Anber.
Wait. Let me get started. This isn't the same as we normally do it. Monsieur Cassava, I got it all set up now. Look, the height is even good.
Yeah, better than mine.
Going here.
Yeah, it's actually better even than my setup here with the Instagram Live cropping. So for those of you who are tuning in, we're going to have the unified light heavyweight champion, undefeated Artur Beterbiev join us in a few minutes. He's standing by, so we're going to have also time to talk about some other bouts as well.
Showtime.
You're already distracted by the comments of Scully.
Yeah, you see that? That's bad. I should out the comments because I keep reading them and I lose my train of thought. People say hi to me like Joanne. Oh my gosh, I get all crazy. Hi, Joanne.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm just going to be, Arthur's telling me now that he's about to be ready here, so I just got to look him up and invite him to join. First and foremost, Russ, anything, go ahead.
Cecilio saying hello as well. Look at this, crazy. This is wonderful. Cecilio, yeah.
There we go.
I like this that people can message us, and it's hard to answer all of them at the same time. But it's nice that we can do this, and it's going to be great having Arthur on.
100%, 100%.
We should also at least warn the people that if they have questions for Arthur, we'll do our best to try to get to them. But Arthur will be talking about his fight. So please, if we don't get to your question, don't be upset. They come in so fast and then they scroll up and we lose sight of them. So, we'll do the best.
100%. And as we try to connect here, I'm just going to tell Arthur, so give me a second here, Russ, with this Instagram Live situation and making sure here he can get to us in a second. We're also going to talk about a bit later. I know you wanted to bring up the John Ryder and Danny-Jacobs fight as well.
Yes, absolutely. I want to discuss that. Some people said it looked, it was controversial fight, and against Callum Smith. So I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, and the other things also that we can bring up is that there's hearing more and more reports that Loma might be fighting Kambosos in Australia. I know you're going to want to talk about that as well.
Air miles, brother. Air miles. Air miles. That's good. That's a good thing. Air miles.
That's your main takeaway from the from what's happening here with that fight?
I'm sorry?
Is that your main takeaway, the fact that you're going to be able to have air miles?
Well, I mean, that's what we do all this for, is for air miles. This is what it's for, air miles, to travel, to see places. So this is great. I'm excited. Lomachenko fighting Haney. I see Arthur has joined us, I believe.
He's trying to get into the contact here, so he'll be with us in a second. As it'll be pretty cool for us. And have you spoken to Arthur since the fight against Marcus Browne that you unfortunately couldn't attend because of COVID?
No, just what we talked to him when we talked to him today. So no, I didn't get a chance to speak to him. And he went away, remember, for the holidays. I had COVID, then he went away. So, no, I didn't get a chance to speak to him.
Yeah, so that would be cool to talk about that as well. I know that some of the talks that, oh, there he is.
Arthur!
Hello.
Arthur.
Hello, how are you?
Привет.
Yeah.
There you go. He's joining it. He's looking good also, Arthur.
Huh? I'm looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm current, still. That's right.
How was the trip to Russia?
Good, not bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
How long were you away for, Arthur? How long did you go away?
I mean, I think it's like 1.5 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it colder in Russia or was it colder here?
It's cold here, because when I was there, like here is like -30 something, but
Yeah.
they're like minus maybe 4-3, maybe like this.
Okay.
You wouldn't think Russia is warmer than Canada. So did you get used to the cold, Arthur? You're everywhere you go. It seems like it's cold weather.
No, it's in Russia too. We have places more cold than in Canada, like. But
Right.
if we talk about Montreal and Moscow, yes, it's kind of Montreal is more cold than Moscow.
Wow. Arthur, so let's go back to December, and unfortunately the fight that I could not be there because I was with COVID and I was...
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ross. Can I say, I'm happy to speak with you about anything, everything, but without box, okay?
Anything but boxing.
Okay. Then I'll ask you.
Except boxing, okay?
Did you play Russian billiards when you were in Russia?
Billiards, yes.
Billiards,
I have billiard at my home. Yes, it's very good.
in Russia or here? Not here.
Yes. Russia, not here.
Russia, yeah. In Russia.
It's too big to bring here, you know.
Yeah, too big to bring. Of course.
Better to bring here my car from there.
Yeah.
Instead of table. You know?
Yeah, you're right. Well, that's the one challenge I still have with you is Russian billiards. Me and you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think
for the belt. For the belt.
No, I think you lose.
Hey. I already lose to your brother in ping pong.
Yeah?
Your brother beat me 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
2-1 he beat me in Russia. So I have to have rematch. I have to have rematch with your brother. So listen, we have to talk boxing because the people, they're listening to boxing. So you have to talk a little bit about boxing.
Okay, little bit.
Little bit. I guess we have to go back to December and your thoughts on the fight and, of course, everything that happened with the cut, your opponent. How did it feel to be back fighting in Montreal again?
I have question. Can I ask you before then I answer it?
Of course.
Your question. How do you think is Luke is working there? You know.
I'll tell you what.
Tell me one or 10 like minimum. Tell me.
Listen.
Your score.
You see, you could ask me because I experienced this cut, if you remember, with Badu Jack.
You did
Marcus
that?
Browne.
I don't know, but you know, I'm not very fan of boxing, but that's why I'm never see that fight.
I know. I know. So,
Luke says 10, by the way, Russ. Luke says 100% good. His work on the cut.
Yeah, Luke, 100%. Best job ever. Listen, to be honest, Luke did everything right. He did everything right. This is a very difficult. I don't know what could have been done more to stop the bleeding, because in your head here, there's a vein that comes in your head, and when that vein break, if it was a little bit more on the side, no problem. Hit the head, no problem. The eye, no problem. But here, there's a vein, and that's the same thing that happened with Badu. And everything that I knew, I tried to do to stop the blood, and it stopped for a little bit and then start again. When the heart starts pumping, start again. So I told Luke, I said, I would like to tell you you did bad job, but I cannot tell you did bad job because he did good job. So
tell him
huh?
good.
Not
Just
good?
tell him. Maybe next time better, you know.
No next time for that, Arthur. You don't do that no more, okay?
Not for me. I mean, for another athletes. I mean.
Oh, okay. Other athlete. Okay. But you know more of that. Better. I always told you, better you pay for no work, not pay for work. Pay for no work. That's good. That's good.
Russ, does Arthur, like when the cut happened, a lot of people were expecting you to slow down, but What allowed you to continue, Artur? Why weren't you bothered by the blood and the cut against Marcus Browne?
It's because my English is not good, not very good, and for
Okay, we ponyo. Don't worry.
explain that, it's like, when I get caught, like, it's like in my mind, like, it's same time, it's very fast, everything going, and very slowly is here, like, what happened now, what he want to do, that when he's first time stop us, like, to check, like,
Yeah.
and like, I think, like, it's like no way, like, he stop now, it's like, and I'm like, I think it's third round. No, it's third round is finished after break time. Referee, he take us, like, first, I think it's he take us for doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor first is Marcus, and after me. And doctor said, I remember, like, doctor said, one more round, and,
Around you. Yeah.
and I think, like, every round we have break time, like, when I go to my corner, and I think, Mark, I mean, my team is know that or not? Because I think they don't know that, but I mean, when he said only one round, and, like, I remember that, but I, like, want to continue, like, to do. And
You fought. I'll try to say this so you understand. I hope you understand. You fought after the cut, and they told you one more round. You fought with, like, urgency, with emergence. Like, you knew, I have to finish this fast. I cannot wait and take my time. I have to go fast. Was this something you thought about when the rounds were starting?
it's not like exactly what you tell, but, like, if I'm rush, like, in hurry, in a rush,
Yeah.
it's going wrong way, I think so. But
Of course.
But in my mind, like you said, like, I want to continue, but clearly, like, clearly to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I say to rush,
Yes.
compared to the fight against Dennis in Russia, or compared to the fight against Kolig in California, this was not rushing. Marcus Browne, you were rushing. You were going to work.
Yeah.
You ponyo.
Yes, I'm born. Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
do you think Marcus Browne headbutted you intentionally? Do you think it was an accident, or do you think he uses his head too much?
I think is his option, to win a fight. But I think it's not really legal, but he can do that if somebody let him to do that, I believe it's my mistake, because I let him do that. Like, I mean, when it's happened, like 10 seconds or 20 seconds before this happened, in my mind, I forget he can hurt me with his head, because he do, like, very dangerous movements with head. And, like, before I get cut, I mean, in my mind, like, quickly, like, it comes, like, I forget, like, this moment, I forget, like, he hurt me with head,
Right. So now that that's out of the way, and you've had a good rest during the holidays in December in Russia, now you're back. What's next on the plans for the light heavyweight champion of the world?
I can't talk with anyone, I don't want to know. If I tell something, everyone. If I tell you, if you tell me, you don't tell for
just Russ will hear, nobody else.
No,
Okay.
it's there is very simple, like, there is couple scenarios, but I don't want to, like, I'm not dreaming, like, about, like, some some fight, but we go like step by step to how can I say that? I mean, no, like I don't have one target, like I
Right.
try to explain, like for example, when I'm not champion, like the IBF, like when I got belt, like IBF belt first time is 2017, and in my mind I have to be like take rest, I have done work and I need to, like in my mind I think it's like I need to get rest, and same time it's with when I became world champion, IBF, and in my mind it's I thinking about another belts, there is couple belts more than, and I try to get them too, and we just continue for future, looking forward for, we'll see.
I know that the politics and the business of boxing is something you don't like. I understand your point. If you could make a fight, we know that obviously the Canelo fight could be a very big fight for you because he's one of the biggest stars in boxing. Money wise, this could be a very big fight for you. How big is a fight? And I need you to explain this so to understand the North American audience to understand this. How big is a fight with you and Bivol in Russia?
I don't know. If I heard about like Canelo and the Bivol, they try to make fight, and if they have fight, like and if we have fight with Joe Smith, like it's good scenario too, like and we're gonna fight like for unification whole
Right.
title. It's good scenario too, but I'm not dreaming about it. Like I'm not sleeping like wake up like with this, and it's first, second. I'm not like people thinking about money. Yes, money is good too, but I'm not like for me. I prefer more titles than money. It's my
Right.
mind, but I think it's not good. But I'm boxer, I'm not good.
No, that's good. That's good. It's very good.
But Artur, you talked about.
I'm not businessman. I'm just boxer. That's why I'm thinking about. Even I've been when I was been in amateur. Like for me, like why I came to box, like only for Olympic, like gold for Olympic. That's why I want to won Olympic medal, like gold medal, actually.
Right.
I mean, that's why I'm in boxing in beginning. But after when I turned professional is different story. Like here is more, I think it's more for work, like then is not for dream, It's more like I thinking about it's like my work.
So if that's true, is there a possibility that Artur Beterbiev would want to challenge for the Cruiserweight championship of the world? Because you used to fight, you fought at that weight class in amateur at 200. Would it be at 91 kilo? Would this be something that would interest you to move up, like the way Usyk moved to heavyweight, you moved to cruiserweight? Is that something possible?
Now you talk about Usyk or something heavyweight.
No, I'm just giving you example.
Now people again tell me like you want to talk about big level. You are small boxer. You are not very famous. You want to use them name for your, like I don't like these things. I'm for challenge. If we talk about boxing, but no money, nothing, like no, like it's good for him or good for me, like if we just talk about box, yes, it's good challenge for me, like have fight like with not unification, like champion cruiserweight and me, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm asking you. Yeah.
I think it's for fans too. It's good. I think so.
Yes.
But for I don't know about my promoters. Like, you know, like for example, for Canelo, they do fight, like, you know, they pick up like someone from different way and take him like half fight and beat him, and he's like number one, or I don't know. He's very strong boxer, you know. I mean, if my promoter can do that, okay, let's go. I'm happy.
No, but that's why I was asking you, because you talked about challenge, you talk about titles
Yes.
being important. So that's why I'm asking you, would it be something you would be interested to one day try to fight for cruiserweight title?
Yes, of course. You know, I don't want to go back a little bit back, but I have to say, when we have I have like negotiation with contract between Top Rank and Eddie Matchroom Boxing.
Yeah, yeah.
That time is all titles win is Usyk, your friend.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And at that time I just get and became a world champion with IBF, you know, 81 kilo. He is 91 kilo absolute, you know.
Yeah.
And I did the very simple offer to Eddie Hearn. I tell, if you guarantee me to fight for his title, what his weight, I go with you. I tell him just like this, and they take 1 or 2 weeks quiet, and they didn't answer, you know, and that's why I don't go with them. It's more because that time I think maybe they offer it's a little bit maybe less than Top Rank, maybe something, but for me is more challenge there, you know. It's for me like, okay, let's go we try, because I don't want to talk about Olympic. I don't want to talk what fights what we had before, like in Olympic and World Championship. But it's like in professional. I want to. For me, it's very interesting how it's going. You know, in fight like
12 rounds.
Difference goes 12 rounds. Like
no headgear.
No headgears. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Artur, let me ask you, because you talk about you don't necessarily watch
my hands or his hands, because it's hurt.
Big problem. I don't want you to fight Usyk. I don't want you to fight Usyk.
Artur, if I can ask here, you talk about that you don't watch a lot of boxing, but do you know now that a lot of fans, you have a lot of people who love to see your fights? Are you surprised by how much people love to see you fight and want really to see you in the ring?
You know, maybe yes. I don't know. Maybe. You know, I'm not. For me, like, I feel good like when I walk outside or somewhere. You know, people not like, you know, you are Artur Beterbiev. You know. I'm a bit shy, and for me it's a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm not okay with everything. Like, but for give them a photo or autograph is no problem. But it's a little bit uncomfortable for me. I don't know.
Artur, I would like to ask something. If we go back, you know, you were an amateur star, Olympic Games, world champion. Many people were seeing you fight. Out of all the people who were seeing you fight, how did you end up coming to Montreal to make the decision to make your professional career in Montreal?
You know, if I remember those things, I'm not real boxer. You know, I'm really boxer.
Stop. You remember. Stop.
It's so far. It's almost 10 years ago, you know.
Yeah. But Artur, so at your age though, do you see yourself fighting a lot of years left? Do you have a plan of when you want to retire, or you want to compete until you cannot compete physically anymore?
Yeah, second option is more close than me.
Second option, boxer. Okay.
So you still feel fresh. You still feel good physically.
You know, it's very interesting. You know, I'm always asking this question to myself because you know it's not really funny things what I do. Like for example, last fight,
Yeah.
if you can do good training, if you can do sparring, if you can do like Andre Kulisha tell me, I always ask him like, Andre, how do you think my body is improve or like going down? Like I know he never tell me true, but he have to tell me true a half, you know.
Half true.
And he tell me like, yeah, your level is much better than you've been. It's good, I think so. Even I cut half is good too, you know what he say. I mean,
Yeah.
and like, for example, like we train with Mark, like he tell me too, like you know, I think it's very important for coaches too. Like you know, if coach see you can't do something like you know you can't do sparring, you can't do something like you know you like not health person, you know.
Yeah.
Professional boxer have to be healthy, you know, healthy and good moon, like you know.
Is going to the gym and training still enjoyable for you? Do you like to go and work in the gym? Do you like to go with Kulesha and work out? Do you still enjoy to do this? Does your body still like this?
Yes. My body maybe really not like this, but like
That's good.
Artur, you have friends. We know about your friendship and with Georges St-Pierre, who's a big-time UFC Hall of Famer, and even Khabib, who retired. Both of them retired pretty early. Do you talk to them sometimes about that and their decisions? Do you have any people that you can consult with in the fight business, whether boxing or MMA?
you know what, I have a good relation with George with them, but you know we train different gyms, you know, and we don't have chance to see each other often, you know, and but I know George helped me when I have a difficult time to find some good decision. I'm really appreciate I have him, like you know, to ask him or do something, but he did for me very good things in the past. I think he will do for future too. But you know, I have friend like in Russia, like he was gold medalist,
Yep.
like
Yep.
in Peking, in Beijing in 2008.
8
Like
in
yeah,
boxing.
we were been there. No, he's a wrestler, free wrestler.
Wrestling. Okay, got you. Yeah, yeah.
Free wrestler. And he retired when he was 29, you know.
Wow.
But I'm still 29, you know.
That's right. But in wrestling though, not much opportunity for career after Olympic Games unless you go professional wrestling, you know, like you see on television. But for boxing, you're able to continue doing this sport, no?
Yeah. Ross, can you make for me fight what now is like Bob? Not Bob. Paul. What
Jake
is
Paul.
Yeah, Jake.
Have you don't know Jake Paul, right, Artur? You have never watched a fight, huh?
I never know. I don't know him, but I heard about him. Like what he had fight with someone with
Woodley, Tyron Woodley, former UFC champion.
He beat him, like you know, he knocked him out him like with one punch.
That's right. I don't think he would ever accept to fight you, Artur.
Why?
No.
Is fight? Tell him
Yeah, okay, we'll tell him. I promise you, if you fight him, I work for free. I told you that. You fight him, I work for free. No problem. No problem.
But
hey, somebody just asked a question, which this is good, and I know Arthur.
we only have a few minutes also, Russ, by the way, just because
Okay.
Arthur's been very generous with his time.
Okay. Somebody just asked Arthur, who is your favorite boxer of all time?
Muhammad Ali.
Here in the background also.
Was Muhammad Ali an inspiration of why you started boxing, or did you start boxing because of another reason?
I'm starting boxing like because my oldest brothers, he's used to box, and I always ask him take me to gym, like No, I don't know. In beginning, I don't know about Muhammad Ali.
Okay, that's what I meant. Okay.
After when I in boxing, like that is kid. That time I'm kid, like 8, 9 years old, and my favorite boxers is like two boxers, Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. But it's different style.
Big difference. Big difference.
And
Big
when we've been in I don't know, Las Vegas, in Tyson Fury had fight with Southpaw guy. I don't know him.
Southpaw. Otto Wallin. When he fought.
Otto Wallin?
I think yes. It's like 2-3 fight before.
Yeah, it was Otto Wallin. Yeah, when he got a cut.
Yeah. And it's like he get cut there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He get cut there, and I tell there like Tyson Fury is like both. Like Mike Tyson have good punch.
Yeah.
And Tyson Fury have he has not bad punch. I think so. He's good. If you compare like how he's knock him out Wilder, like he had good punch. He has good punch. I think so.
Yeah, he's not like Tyson, but yeah, he has. He punch a lot. Wilder, one punch for one punch. Wilder, bigger puncher than Tyson.
Yeah. Even that he knock him out and like Muhammad Ali is like good with the legs, like
right.
I'm not exactly, but I say like because I'm boxer, I can say anything.
Listen, Arthur, before we let you go, do you have any message to your fans? They don't see you a lot. That this was very good. You say your English is not good, but trust me, it's very good, 100%. And any message?
Ochi harasho.
Yeah.
The message for the fans and when they can see you in the ring again, and anything you would like to tell them.
I tell them everything. Be healthy. This period is very important. Be healthy.
Yeah.
Be healthy.
Right.
And I think we have good fights in future. Best fights in my career, I think so, is the future.
Arthur, I will tell you this: one of the highlights, one great memory of my life, 43 years in boxing, was to go to Russia with you and to fight in that atmosphere. And I hope we get to go back to Russia and fight in Russia again.
Yeah, I hope to. Thank you.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank
Arthur, thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight.
For you too.
All the best, Arthur. Thank you so much.
If you have money, call me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We're going to get you the Jake Paul fight. They'll get you some money. Hey.
Spasiba bolshoy.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, Russ, stick around because I know you wanted to address a few things. That was pretty cool to get the Unified World Champion to join us for 25 minutes even.
You know what? You could see that if with a little bit more mastery of the English language, the personality and character that this guy has. This guy could be like on the Wheaties, on a box of Wheaties. That's the kind of personality and character he has. A man of strong conviction, belief, conducts himself with class, and he has a sense of humor. I mean, it's just an outstanding human being. He is. I have a lot of respect for Artur Beterbiev.
Right. I think everyone does, and I think people see that he's a man of principle. I remember just a quick story here. Years ago, he fought a professional fight a little bit before Christmas in Gatineau. I don't know if you remember this. I think he won in the first round on a card in Quebec. And after the weigh-ins, most fighters, especially that have to cut weight, want to eat whatever food they want to eat. They want to eat, the most junk they can, in a sense, without exaggerating, but at least they've been depriving themselves of meals for a few weeks, a few days, and they try to eat whatever they can. And after the weigh-in, Artur found a restaurant, an Afghan restaurant, of course, being of Muslim faith, and he wanted to eat that food, but he told me he doesn't even enjoy the food he was eating, but this was the only halal food that he was allowed to eat. And just to show the type of principled man he is, of even after a weigh-in, when he could choose whatever food he wants to eat, he's still eating food that adheres to his religion. So I think you see that he's really not somebody who's fazed by the capitalistic nature of trying to trash talk or trying to make money. He sees it as a competitive nature, trying to win, provide for his family, and be the best he can be.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, there's even more. It's how funny he can be, the sense of humor that he has, that you can see he wants it to come out. And when he's in a good mood, not only does his mouth smile, but you could see his eyes smile as well. He's happy. He likes to be funny. He likes to engage in a high level type of humor, battle of the wits. So he's a lot of fun. Okay.
So just in the last thing to talk about that, many times when Artur used to train upstairs in the gym, and he would come around and he said, your sparring partner is not showing up, Artur. I think Mark had told him, or somebody, there was an issue with a sparring partner that he was supposed to have in Quebec. So he turns to me and he goes, you my sparring partner today. I said, I don't think so. I don't think so, Artur. I want to live a little longer. But look,
that's the story, though, that you talk about sparring partners. That's the story. I will.
Scully, right?
Scully will clarify that. Yeah. I don't remember the name of the fighter who had been, a top flight fighter, been in camps with all kinds of fighters, seen it all, right? And nothing was going to surprise him. Yeah. And after the first round with Artur, came back to the corner, put his hands up on the ropes, and turned to Scully and said, "Well, that was different." And I think that sums up everything about Artur Beterbiev. That was different. And that stayed with us and stayed with Scully. And I had told Scully about Artur years before he started working with him, and he gave me credit for saying, "Well, you called that," and I said that was good. And I remember Mark.
Luke, sorry, Russ, the Cutman, Steve Jaffard, who had fought Joe Smith, says that was a sparring partner who said that.
Okay.
So thanks, Luke, for the tip. So what did you tell Scully years before Scully started working with Artur? You were saying?
I told him, about this kid, and he gives credit. He said, I said, this guy, I remember when Mark brought him to the office and said, "Russ, I got a guy coming." He says, "and it's exactly in the style that you like." And it is. It's exactly an old school. I tell you, Arthur's fight should be filmed in a sepia or black and white film, that should be as a throwback to the greats of the day.
100%. Okay, we have a few quick topics, quick hit stuff that you wanted to address. Amir Khan Kell-Brook is fighting this weekend, even though it might be years and years from where they should have been fighting. Do you want to address that first? You want to talk about the John Ryder-Danny Jacobs fight from this past weekend and the controversial scoring, as you agreed with two of the official judges, but most fans weren't happy with the scorecards?
Okay, first, let me just say hello to Julia before she explodes this page and says, say hi to me. So she's on. Hello, how are you? Send me back my money that you owe me. And so now I've told her. So there you go. Yeah. Any order you want, brother.
Let's start just with John Ryder real quick.
I think we should do. I was going to say let's do that because it happened, and I got to see the fight. Say hi to Art, please. Art is a good friend of ours. I got to watch the fight. Danny Jacobs, heavy favorite going into the fight. And I think I guess you could even say that trying to assert himself as being a major player in the division at 168 pounds, moving up from 160. And John Ryder, who I've known for a while, but got to see live and in person for the first time when he fought Callum Smith. And I was blown away at how well he fought against Callum Smith. Like, I was in the corner that night, and I'm saying, this guy is like an old school fighter. You know, this guy's tucking up on the inside, rolling. Shots are coming at him, bombs coming at him, and he's going, boop, boop. You know, no panic, very calm. Most guys, want to get away quick. They want to miss. They want to make sure you miss by this much. He's making you miss by this much. You know, very. I said, oh boy, this guy can fight. And that's, you know, there's certain things you see that maybe the layman doesn't see, but I got it. And I thought, you know what, this guy's going to give, if he's there, he's going to give Danny Jacobs trouble. So the fight starts out, and the commentators, who I don't know why, but you know, it's like it was as if there was only one guy in the ring, right? It was only one guy, and it was Danny Jacobs doing the work. And I'm watching. This isn't true. There isn't just one guy, you know. That's not happening. There's two guys in there. And I think one thing that's wrong with people today when they watch boxing, and the proof of this, I watched the fight last night, an old-time fight I want you to go see. But they have this impression that if you're backpedaling away from a guy and you're moving away and you're boxing and you're moving your waist and you're doing all these things, you're outboxing the guy. But you're not. All you're doing is moving away and moving your waist, and you're not outboxing the guy. The other guy's just kind of walking you down, and you're moving around the ring and doing all moves, and that makes you outboxing the guy? No. At the end of the day, whether you're going forwards or backwards, the thing you have to look for is who's landing punches. That's very important. And when guys are not when nobody's landing punches, then you have to look at who's at least trying to land punches. Who's being, that's where they say being the aggressor. And I think people lose sight of that. And I don't think they gave enough credit to what John Ryder was doing. Now, in truth, Jacobs was throwing a few shots. He had a few flurries early in the middle half of the fight. You know, in the middle part, in the rounds, at the beginning of the fight, he was getting off some punches. Yes, I'll do that. He was also, you could see that his plan was to neutralize and lock up John Ryder anytime he got in close. And literally, he was like the squid in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You know, he was just whoomp, whoomp. He was just grabbing him. And I mean, almost in like a desperation type grab. As John started to put the heat on and really started to, you know, fatigue starts to set in and Ryder's hitting stride now, you know, I thought he started to take over the fight. So now he's putting the pressure on. He's landing the good shots. He's taking it to the guy on the inside. He's the aggressor. And I thought he eked out a well-deserved victory. It was close. It wasn't blind and, yeah, he won it all the way. No, it was a very close fight, and I'm not saying it wasn't. But I think he deserved the fight on making it and on his aggression. And I thought the right guy got the nod. And, of course, right away, everybody – you know, thought this is a hometown job. You know, this is home cooking, like they say, you know, and it wasn't, because the British judge gave it to Danny Jacobs, and the British referee, both fights prior to that fight, opponents were warned and had points deducted for holding. This referee, British referee, never said boo to Danny Jacobs for holding. In all the times he was breaking them, never said boo and cautioned him for holding, not once.
And that's something that people forget, Russ, because a lot of fighters try and hold and clinch as a strategy almost at times to avoid fighting on the inside or to recover a bit of time. Not enough referees tend to enforce it after a warning. You get a point deducted. It's clearly, it says in the rules, you're not allowed to clinch.
You're not allowed to hold. A clinch can happen. You get tied up in a clinch could happen. You can clinch a guy, right? And then let him go. You neutralize him for a second, let him go. You grab his hand, pull him in, let him go. You know, you neutralize. That's part of the game. You know, the working on the inside, that's part of the game. But when you're blatantly cupping your hand under the guy's shoulder and the other one's wrapped around his head, you know, that's not clinching. That's grabbing and holding. That's illegal.
Yeah, 100%.
That's legal.
So John Ryder is going to be a candidate at 168, and Danny Jacobs has been involved in a lot of good fights, but it seems, especially of late, he always tries to win by the slimmest of margins, doesn't press much when he has an opportunity to press. He's very good technically, but even in the Gabriel Rosado fight, that to me was a toss-up fight, and ends up trying to win fights by not doing much offensively, despite the fact he probably, some would argue, won the last fight against John Ryder. Look, I know you don't agree, and officially he lost it. John Ryder is going to be in position, I would think, most likely for a possible title shot, depending on what happens with Canelo and all the belts at 168. So I want to get, before we let you go, Russ, you want to make a comment on that?
You're right. You know, and I think that's the one thing that Ryder needs to do. I think, and you'll see it happen in a fight. Bing, 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 he hits a guy. And then he's such a cool cucumber, doesn't do anything after he hits them. You know, he waits and then right back into the grinder mode again, you know, coming at you, instead of being able to jump on you and go from here to here in no time. Boom, boom. You know, oh, an opportunity, bam, bam. I think that part of this game, you know, that Sugar Ray Robinson type of explosion that comes out of nowhere has to happen more often. And the fight I wanted to point out that I was watching yesterday.
The old school fight.
The old school fight. If you want, when you talk about somebody outboxing somebody, what that means, watch the second fight between Muhammad Ali and George Chuvalo. And that's a case of a guy pressing forward, and the guy outboxing him is the guy hitting him the most. Boom, 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 boom. And Chuvalo trying to get to him and getting hit with shots coming in, you know? That's when you say a guy who's backpedaling, you know, can say he's winning the fight. But just because you backpedal him, that was a big argument I had, and I don't want to bring it up with Beterbiev, but the Marcus Browne fight, people say, oh, Browne was ahead early in the fight. Why? he was just moving out of the way, and you're looking at that as the guy's plotting. Yeah, but Beterbiev didn't touch him. Did he touch Beterbiev? Like, was he snapping Beterbiev's head back that you're saying he deserved to win the round? And I think that's where people misconstrue. They think boxing equals backpedaling and moving and doing all nice, cute things, but they forget about landing punches. So yeah, that was my point I wanted to raise.
Perfect. Okay, we got a little less than 5 minutes. Amir Khan against Kell-Brook, and we thank everybody for tuning in. We're also going to be playing this. Of course, it'll be uploaded tomorrow in case you missed the conversation with the unified light heavyweight champion of the world, Artur Beterbiev. Russ, Amir Khan, Kell-Brook are fighting.
Yeah. Wait. Amir Khan, Kell-Brook. You see Todd Nadon there who joined?
Yeah.
That guy fought Otis Grant for the Canadian title way back in the day, bro. Way back in the day. Yeah.
And, well, that's a good shout out to have because would you say back then the Canadian title meant a little bit more than what it means now?
It meant, what does it mean now? There's not even a Canadian title now. What means now? There's no means now. No one wants to fight for things. No, it's ridiculous. So what do you mean fight for the? Back then, fighting for the when you were Canadian champion, that's how you were introduced in the ring when you left Canada and went somewhere else as the Canadian champion. It meant something to be the Canadian champion as it means to be the British champion. You know, like it meant something. You had a champion. You had contenders. Guys would want to move into the #1 position to fight the champion. It meant something. You even had elimination fights. You had, when a title became vacant, they take the top 4 guys, fight each other to make the Canadian champion. No Canadian champion now. Like it's laughable. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
no one wants to fight anymore, Matthew. You got to put it. Fighters today don't want to fight. They don't want
say that. We just had Artur Beterbiev who would not deny fighting anyone if he was presented in front of him. So don't say no one, but it's not like it used to be. Now it's more about Twitter and social media fights than actually getting in the ring. But I digress. Anyways.
That's why you're there to interpret this for me. You see, I say the things and then you interpret it for the fans. Of course, I'm not being general, just like when you guys got guys today, they can't fight. No, there are guys today who can really fight, of course, but there's not a plethora of them the way there used to be. So it makes it look like a lot of guys can't. So it seems to be there's more guys that can't than can. But you know what I mean. That's my point. But the Canadian title, being a Canadian champion, was a prestigious thing back then. It was prestigious to be Canadian. And then once you conquered your country, now you went out and tried to get, you know, a higher level. Now, guys don't even want to fight and be champion here. They want already, they're looking already at what their followers are and what fight they can get on TV, you know, in the States or whatever. And that's just not right.
Amir Khan and Kell-Brook are an example of
could
have been fighting each other in their prime, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago? Or maybe that's maybe that's an exaggeration, but I don't think, maybe 10. maybe 10,
And
let's say. But nevertheless, they're going to be fighting, and that's maybe for a big time fight in the UK. How excited are you about Amir Khan against Kell-Brook, even now, though, fighting past their prime?
you know what? All it does is solidify the notion that people don't care when it happens. Like, it doesn't have an impact. They just see it. It's like a freak show, you know? It's not about, oh, these two guys met in their prime, you know, when they should have met. Like, it almost becomes like a sideshow. How interested am I? I'll probably, if I can, I don't know when where we'll be at the fights. On Saturday, we have Makhmudov fighting, Arslanbek fighting as well.
At the casino here in Montreal, Arslanbek Makhmudov against Marius Vach.
Now, that's at night or during the day?
It's a nighttime fight, so it's going to be. So Amir Khan will probably be around 5 p.m. Eastern time here in Montreal. Maybe you'll get a chance to sneak it in the locker room as you're wrapping hands.
Yeah, maybe. So, but I'll tell you what, if it was Amir Khan and Kell-Brook when they were both king of Great Britain, that would have been a hell of a fight. So while this one would still be, it's still going to garnish interest. It's a local fight. You're always there. Believe me when I tell you, whatever hype you see now pales in comparison to what it would have been. And it was those guys, they were part of that era that started the I'm not going to fight you era. You know, I'm not going to fight you. You go your way.
Led by Mayweather, though, in some ways, right?
Well, I'm trying to think, like, Mayweather. It's nice to blame Mayweather for everything that's wrong with boxing.
Okay, but I think a lot of people associate the matchmaking aspect of boxing and picking and choosing and making the most money possible, because ultimately prize fighters are looking to have the most money and not just about legacy, even though the fans would love it to be legacy fights like we had in the 80s with Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran. And now we're at this position I think most people associate after Oscar De La Hoya was the pay-per-view king and the transition to Mayweather. That was the era that we say, okay, you can make a ton of money, more money than ever before, despite having to fight the #1 contender. You can pick and choose in the top 10, top 15, as long as you bring money to the table.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. So I guess it's the timing came right that was Mayweather who did that. But yeah, that's it. And it happened, even if we were to say locally, it happened when, you know, when Interbox and Groupe Yvon Michel were rising their stable. I think only on 2 occasions did each of their fighters fight each other. And so many fights could have been made, you know, and could have been massive local events, and they were pissed on, and it never happened. And so it all became part of that trend of, you know, not, okay, going through what we had been accustomed to boxing. You beat this guy, you beat this guy, you get the #1, you fight this. That's the way it is, you know. Now it changed that, you know, it changed. So all that to say that
Who wins, Khan or Brook now?
You know, again, a hard one to call. Neither at their best.
People are very concerned. They think Amir Khan gets knocked out by a strong win at this stage of his life and career.
Look, but it's not that always easy to hit him with it. You know, if you land it, you've got to be a good puncher. Now, you know, when he's got knocked out, it's been by guys who are really good punchers. And Brook can punch a little bit, but overall, the skill has always been, the advantage skill-wise has always been in Khan's favor. So skill-wise, movement-wise, speed-wise, you know, it should be Khan who's going to outbox him. So I don't know. Maybe I'll hedge my bet towards Amir on this one. But,
and Amir Khan, fighter that a lot of people would have liked to have seen fight Mayweather when both were at their prime, because they thought Mayweather's power wasn't going to be a big
threat
for Amir Khan, and I would have been a high-level boxing fight. And Mayweather, of course, elected to fight Marcos Maidana instead, and that ended up being a very entertaining fight. But Mayweather won the first fight, and one of the toughest fights probably he had, and then the rematch won convincingly.
It's sad that, you know, Amir Khan is remembered for being chinny, you know, and getting knocked out, because skill-wise, he's as good as anybody we've had of that generation. You know, even as a young kid going to the Olympics, you know, he showed just how talented he was, and you know, speed, skill, movement, he had all that stuff. But there was something, you know, obviously being a little chinny that got him exposed early, and then to fight through all that and fight everybody that he's fought shows actually just how good his skill level was. So to me, unless I think the only way I can't see Brook outpointing him over 12 rounds. I think the only way Brook beats him is to stop him, because I think over the distance, that skill and speed has to belong to Amir Khan. But we'll see.
All right, Russ, it was a good chat. We're going to have to wrap up. And for those, again, who missed the...
Wait. We can't wrap up yet because Ernest from the New York State Athletic Commission just came on, so I got to say hello. I got to say hello to Ernest, and hopefully I'm going to see you soon, brother. I'll be there April 30th, so I hope I get to see you then. And
we're going to have, of course, the conversation will be uploaded on YouTube and other platforms. Our conversation with the unified, undefeated light heavyweight champion of the world, Artur Beterbiev, will be at the casino Saturday for a local card. It's available on Punch and Grace. Eye of the Tiger has Arslanbek Makhmudov, the heavyweight, who's also undefeated with a 100% knockout ratio. He's in the headline fight that you'll be working, Russ, with Luke, who's also part of Artur Beterbiev's team, and Mark Ramsey, of course. And I'll be at the analyst role on the French side for that event. So it's going to be fun to have back in the city.
I'm looking forward to that. And I again, enjoy doing this. And, you know, when you see the interaction from the fans, it's nice. One day we do one where we have no topics and just deal with what the people want to talk about, you know. And I don't know if there's a way. I think there's a way we can get each of the people on to ask their question with them on the screen, if I'm not mistaken. So
it won't be you who organizes the technical aspect of that, Russ, but I'll work on it, and for sure we'll have a fan interaction.
Listen, I'm the brains behind this, you see.
Yeah.
I'm the brains behind this.
I know.
But yeah, it'll be good to do that. I enjoy doing that. Loco Porvita was on here. This is good. Chris is here, so I'm glad he got to watch it. I'm glad we got to do this. It's a lot of fun, so I hope we get to do it again, Matt. It's a good job. Good call to do this.
100%. Thank you very much to everybody listening out there, to the fans of the podcast, the fans, of course, of Russ as well. And we'll be in touch very shortly. Our conversation with Artur Beterbiev will be uploaded later this week. And thank you, everyone, and enjoy the fights this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Loco. Thanks, guys.